Did you know that over 70% of automatic car drivers are making mistakes right now without even realizing it? These are not obvious blunders. These are silent habits that slowly destroy your transmission, engine, and drivetrain from the inside out. You might be guilty of some of these too. Today we are exposing 13 things you should never do in an automatic car. Some of these seem harmless. Some even feel like the right thing to do. But each one is quietly costing you thousands in damage. Make sure to stick around until the end because I have a bonus tip that could save you thousands in repairs and help your car last longer than you ever imagined. First up, do not drive with low fuel. It might seem like a harmless habit. You see the light come on and figure you will fill up later. But driving with low fuel is actually one of the worst things you can do to your automatic car. What happens inside is this. Modern cars have an electric fuel pump that sits inside the tank. This pump relies on the fuel itself to keep it cool and lubricated. When your tank drops below a quarter full, the pump is no longer fully submerged. It starts to overheat and wear out much faster than it should. Replacing a fuel pump can cost anywhere from $400 to over $1,000. But it gets worse. Fuel tanks collect dirt and debris over time. All of that settles at the bottom. When you run low, the pump starts sucking from down there. This clogs your fuel filter, damages the injectors, and messes with engine performance. If you ignore this, it can snowball into even bigger problems. The fix is simple. Top up before you drop below a quarter tank. Now for the next mistake. This one seems like a smart way to save gas, but it is actually destroying your transmission. Number 2, do not coast in neutral. Many drivers think shifting into neutral while going downhill saves fuel. It sounds logical. Lower RPMs must mean less fuel, right? But with modern automatic cars, that is actually a myth. The reality is this. When you are in drive and coasting, most modern vehicles use something called deceleration fuel cutoff. The engine stops using fuel entirely, while the car's momentum keeps it moving. But if you shift into neutral, the engine has to idle, and idling still burns fuel. So you may actually use more gas, not less. From a mechanical standpoint, it is even worse. Automatic transmissions rely on fluid circulation powered by the engine. In neutral, that flow decreases while the wheels keep spinning the internals. This causes poor lubrication and can overheat parts like clutches and bearings. On the safety side, you lose engine braking and overall control. Your brakes have to do all the work, which leads to faster wear and potential brake fade on long descents. The fix: always stay in drive or use a lower gear on downhill roads. Next up is a habit that feels exciting but destroys your drivetrain faster than almost anything else. Number 3, avoid doing hard launches. It might feel exciting to floor the gas pedal and accelerate hard from a complete stop, but hard launches are one of the quickest ways to destroy an automatic car. When you try a hard launch, the torque converter has to handle a sudden surge of power from the engine. This violent transfer of energy causes overheating and wears out the converter much faster than normal driving. The transmission fluid also degrades quickly under these conditions, leaving internal components with less protection. Eventually, this leads to slipping gears, delayed shifts, or complete transmission failure. A transmission rebuild runs anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. Hard launches also harm your drivetrain. Parts like the drive shaft axles and differential are not designed to handle that kind of shock. Keep doing it, and you could end up with broken axles or differential damage. And do not forget your tires. The increased wear from sudden acceleration means you will need to replace them more often. The fix: accelerate gradually from a stop. Automatic transmissions are built for smooth transitions, not abuse. The next mistake happens every cold morning, and most drivers have no idea they are doing it wrong. Number 4, never drive hard without warming up the engine first. Jumping into your car and driving off immediately, especially in cold weather, might seem convenient, but it can seriously harm your engine and transmission. When the engine is cold, the oil inside is thicker and has not circulated properly through all the components. This lack of lubrication increases friction and causes wear on vital parts like piston cylinders and the valve train. For automatic transmissions, this is even more critical. The transmission fluid also needs to warm up. When it is cold, it does not flow smoothly, making it harder for the system to shift gears properly. This causes rough shifts, delayed acceleration, and long-term damage to internal components. Cold starts also hurt fuel efficiency. Modern engines use a richer air-fuel mixture when cold. If you drive off immediately, your engine works harder while still in this inefficient state, wasting fuel and increasing wear. The fix is easy. Let your engine run for about 30 seconds to a minute after starting. Then, drive gently for the first few minutes. Keep RPMs low and avoid sudden acceleration until everything reaches operating temperature. Now for a mistake you probably make every time you sit at a red light. Number 5, do not leave the car and drive while sitting for long periods. It might seem like no big deal to sit and drive with the engine running while waiting at a long light, street or in a drive-through, but this habit can actually harm your automatic transmission. When the car is in drive, the transmission stays engaged and the engine continues sending power to the wheels even while you hold the brake. This puts unnecessary strain on both the transmission and the braking system. The transmission in drive mode is designed to move the car, not hold it stationary. Keeping it engaged while idling causes the torque converter to generate heat. This heat breaks down your transmission fluid, gradually reducing its ability to cool and lubricate. The result is premature wear and eventually expensive repairs. Your brake system suffers too. Keeping the car in drive means the brakes are constantly under pressure. This increases brake pad wear and generates heat, which reduces efficiency. This is also dangerous. If your foot slips off the brake, the car could lurch forward unexpectedly. The fix: if you are stopped for more than 20 or 30 seconds, shift into park or neutral. This takes the strain off your transmission and stops the heat buildup. Speaking of habits you do not think about, this next one seems completely harmless. Number 6. Do not rest your hand on the gear stick. This seems like nothing, right? But resting your hand on the shifter while driving is quietly damaging your transmission. The gear stick in an automatic is connected to the shift linkage, which engages specific gears inside the transmission. If you apply constant pressure to the gear stick, even lightly, you're putting unnecessary strain on these delicate components. Gradually, this causes misalignment or premature wear in the shift linkage. You might start to notice slack or looseness when shifting. In the worst case, it can lead to improper gear engagement or expensive internal transmission repairs. From a driving standpoint, resting your hand on the gear stick also encourages poor posture. Both hands should be on the steering wheel for optimal control and quick reaction time. Keeping one hand on the shifter compromises your ability to respond to sudden hazards. The fix is simple. After you shift into drive, keep both hands on the wheel or rest your hand in your lap. Now for a mistake that puts serious mechanical shock through your entire drivetrain. Number 7. Do not shift modes while the car is moving. Automatic transmissions are designed to engage specific gears depending on your selected mode. Shifting between drive, reverse, or park while the car is still rolling causes a sudden mismatch between the car's speed and the internal gear engagement. This creates a jarring mechanical shock that puts extreme strain on the entire transmission system. One of the most vulnerable components is the clutch packs and bands. These are responsible for engaging and disengaging gears. When you shift while moving, they are forced to operate under extreme pressure. This leads to faster wear or even complete failure. The transmission fluid also cannot circulate properly under these abrupt conditions. This causes overheating and reduced lubrication, which damages internal parts. Another critical issue is the parking pawl. This small component locks the transmission when you select park. If you try to shift into park while moving, the pawl can break or become misaligned. Once that happens, your car cannot hold its position when parked. Sudden mode changes can also cause skidding or loss of control. The fix: always make sure the car is fully stopped before changing gears. This next mistake is even more dangerous and destroys a critical component instantly. Number 8. Never switch to park while the car is still moving. When your car is in park, the parking pawl engages to lock the transmission and prevent the wheels from turning. This mechanism is designed to hold the car stationary. It is not designed to stop a moving vehicle. If you try to switch to park while the car is still rolling, you force the pawl to engage against rotating components. This puts severe stress on it and can cause it to break or become damaged. If the parking pawl breaks, your car could roll unexpectedly even when parked. Repairing or replacing the pawl typically costs between $1,000 and $2,000, and it can damage other parts like gear teeth or the shift linkage, which only adds to the bill. Beyond the mechanical damage, trying to shift into park while moving can cause your wheels to lock suddenly. This leads to skidding or complete loss of control, especially in heavy traffic or on slippery roads. The fix: always come to a complete full stop before shifting into park. That 1-second pause can save you thousands. The next mistake puts all your car's weight on one tiny piece of metal. Number 9. Do not skip using the parking brake. Many drivers think automatic cars do not need the parking brake. You just shift into park and walk away, right? But skipping the parking brake causes long-term damage. The problem is this: without the parking brake engaged, the entire weight of your car rests on the parking pawl we just talked about. That is a lot of stress on one small component. On flat ground, you might not notice the problem for years, but on inclines, the strain is much greater. Eventually, the pawl wears down or breaks completely. If that happens, your car could roll unexpectedly, which is extremely dangerous. Using the parking brake takes the load off the pawl. It supports your car mechanically rather than relying entirely on the transmission. The proper way to park is simple. Come to a full stop, shift into neutral, engage the parking brake, and feel the car settle as the weight transfers. Then release the brake pedal and shift into park. This simple routine protects your transmission and keeps your car secure every time you park. Now for a mistake that leaves you vulnerable in traffic. Number 10. Do not leave your car in neutral while stopped in traffic. Some drivers think shifting to neutral at red lights reduces strain on the vehicle, but this habit is actually dangerous and can cause mechanical problems. One of the biggest risks is losing control. When your car is in neutral, you cannot accelerate quickly if you need to avoid a sudden hazard. This delay in response time increases the chance of an accident, especially in heavy traffic. From a mechanical standpoint, leaving your car in neutral forces your brakes to work harder. In drive, the engine provides a small amount of resistance called engine braking that helps hold the car stationary. In neutral, that resistance is gone, so your brakes do all the work. This wears out your brake pads faster. Frequently shifting between neutral and drive-in, stop and go traffic also wears out the shift linkage. Automatic transmissions are designed to operate smoothly in drive. Constantly switching gears disrupts the fluid flow, which can cause overheating or premature wear. The fix: keep your car in drive while stopped in traffic and simply hold the brake. It is safer and healthier for your transmission. The next mistake can cause catastrophic damage in minutes. Number 11. Never let water get into your transmission. This is one of the most damaging things that can happen to an automatic car. Water contamination can cause total transmission failure. Your transmission is a sealed system that relies on fluid for lubrication, cooling, and smooth operation. When water gets inside, it mixes with the fluid and destroys its ability to protect internal components. The most common way water enters is by driving through deep water. Transmissions have vents that allow for thermal expansion. When submerged, these vents can allow water to seep in, especially if the car sits in standing water. The immediate effect is fluid contamination. Water causes the fluid to lose its viscosity and cooling properties. This leads to overheating and increased friction. The result is burnt clutches, damaged valve bodies, and a completely ruined transmission. Water also causes corrosion on gears and bearings. This accelerates rust and weakens critical parts. A transmission replacement runs anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000. That is often more than the car is worth. The fix: never drive through water deep enough to reach your transmission. If you suspect water got inside, have the vehicle inspected immediately. This next mistake confuses your car's systems and causes hidden damage. Number 12. Avoid using 2 feet while driving an automatic. Some drivers use their right foot for the gas and left foot for the brake, thinking it gives faster reactions. But for everyday driving, this habit causes serious problems. The main issue is pressing both pedals at once, even slightly. When you give gas while lightly pressing the brake, you send conflicting signals to the car. The engine tries to move forward, but the brakes are holding it back. This creates excessive heat inside the torque converter. That heat damages the transmission fluid and wears down internal parts faster. Modern cars also have computer systems that get confused by simultaneous pedal inputs, causing erratic shifting or extra strain as the system tries to compensate. Your brakes suffer too. Constant pressure while accelerating causes them to overheat. This reduces braking efficiency and leads to premature wear on pads, rotors, and calipers. Using 2 feet also increases the risk of panic situations where both feet press down at once. That can be extremely dangerous. The fix: always use your right foot for both the gas and brake pedals. Keep your left foot resting on the floor. This eliminates accidental overlap and protects your transmission. Now for a mistake that slowly destroys your transmission from the inside. Number 13. Do not ignore your transmission fluid. Many drivers fall for the lifetime fluid myth. They assume their transmission never needs attention, but the truth is, no transmission fluid lasts forever. Transmission fluid does more than lubricate. It cools the system, transfers power, and helps clean out microscopic debris. Heat and wear break it down gradually. The fluid becomes dirty, loses effectiveness, and starts to damage the very components it is supposed to protect. Dirty or degraded fluid leads to overheating slipping gears and accelerated wear on clutches and seals. Left unchecked, it causes serious and expensive damage. Something most drivers do not realize is that using the wrong type of fluid can cause immediate damage. Different transmissions require different fluid formulations with specific friction characteristics. Using the wrong one throws off the entire system. The fix: always follow your owner's manual for fluid change intervals. Depending on your vehicle and driving habits, that could be anywhere from 30,000 to 100,000 miles. And always use the exact type of fluid recommended by your manufacturer. A simple fluid check can save you thousands in repairs. Now for the bonus tip. This one seems harmless, but can quietly damage multiple systems. Bonus tip: avoid overfilling your gas tank. When the pump clicks off, most drivers give it a few more squeezes to round up. It seems harmless, but this habit can actually cause hidden damage. What happens is this: overfilling causes excess fuel to overflow into the evaporative emission system. This system is designed to manage fuel vapors, not liquid gasoline. When liquid fuel floods into it, the charcoal canister gets saturated and damaged. The charcoal canister is part of your car's emissions control. Once damaged, it cannot filter fuel vapors properly. This triggers check engine lights, causes failed emissions tests, and leads to repairs that cost several $100s. But it goes further. The evaporative system works with your engine management system to maintain proper fuel-air ratios. A damaged system causes erratic engine behavior. The engine struggles to maintain smooth operation, and that stress transfers to your transmission as it compensates for fluctuating power output. With repeated abuse, this added strain contributes to premature transmission wear. There is also the waste factor. Excess fuel has nowhere to go. It either evaporates or spills out. You are literally paying for gas that never makes it into your engine. The fix is simple. Stop pumping as soon as the nozzle clicks off. Do not try to top it off. That extra squeeze is not worth the damage. So there you have it. 13 mistakes plus a bonus tip that could be silently destroying your automatic car right now. But now that you know what to avoid, you can protect your transmission, save thousands in repairs, and keep your car running longer than you ever thought possible. If you found this helpful, give it a like and share it with someone who drives an automatic. Subscribe so you never miss another tip that saves you money. Let me know in the comments which mistake surprised you the most or which one you have been guilty of. Drive smart and drive safe.